It would seem that the Kokomo Police Department is at it again. Looks like they arrested this young woman here on charges of refusal to identify while stopped for an infraction and then resisting law enforcement. And we have another time that the arrest is documented. And she has 2 charges: failure to identify and resisting arrest. Now, from what I understand, this young lady works at Walmart and was on her way home from work. I'm hearing that she has autism and she is also possibly deaf. Anyway, it looks as if she's only being charged with resisting law enforcement by the prosecutor's office, which means she was arrested for resisting arrest. And I presume my public records request for an ordinance violation or ticket is going to reflect that they had no reason to ask her for her identification. And, well, if we go to my page real quick here, I have a bit of a theoretical interaction with law enforcement. That sort of covers a situation like this. 1 second. Thank you for your patience while I locate this. Anyway, so citizens are not required to interact with police. There's nothing legally requiring her to interact with the police. If she chooses not to talk to the police or explain why she doesn't want to talk to them, that is her prerogative. Without the ordinance violation or infraction, there is no reason to ask her for her identification because they are not writing her a ticket for said infraction or ordinance violation. Which is kind of where this little exchange comes in. Again, this is a theoretical exchange between me and an Indiana officer, but it kind of describes the way that this can go. If you don't want them to interact with you and you wish to be left alone without the ordinance violation or the infraction, there's no reason for them to provide to ask you for you to provide your identification. If they thought you were committing a crime, which is a felony or a misdemeanor, they can arrest you and you're then required to provide your ID to the jail for booking processes. Anyway, it would seem here this young woman has been arrested for resisting law enforcement. Contempt of cop. I've got a public records request in for this here police report to try to get some more details. I haven't confirmed anything specifically. I'm just kind of getting details from people that have some insider information on it. But from what I understand, she was just walking home from work, minding her own business. Regular old tax-paying citizen who just happens to have a disability that maybe they didn't want to interact with law enforcement, and they have that right to not do so. You may remember a couple years ago I covered a story where the Kokomo Police Department had a much worse interaction. Jonathan Cantu on the 4th of July. They beat this individual up pretty badly because they didn't understand how to interact with people who have disabilities. So when all you have is a nail, or when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail kind of situation. Anyway, KPD's kind of got a long string of violating disabled people's rights. This young woman is in fact disabled and was just on her way home from work late at night. This is a travesty because other than this, she's never been involved in the system. And this kind of thing, this charge, can ruin your life. It's very sad. Anyway, something I'm keeping an eye on. I'll be drawing a little more attention to it as I go. Hopefully they get this taken care of and remove themselves from the intrusive business that they're doing in this young woman's life. But other than that, thanks for watching. try to keep you guys informed. Have a good one.